All right, Gooch Maniacs, welcome back to another episode of the Gooch and News show. And if you want to know why I'm saying welcome back, is because this is the show that used to be known as the Gooch and Gabriel show. Since Gabe didn't feel like doing the show anymore, I figured I'll change it to the Gooch and the News. Now, I'm hoping that I'm going to be doing this once a month, and I'm hoping that in a couple months that I'm going to be I'll be having some people with me to do the segments. Uh, Before we get started, I'm up to 454 subscribers. Help me get up to 500 so I can get monetized and bring you more content, much better content. Uh, Now let's get started with the show. I want to start off with my person of the month. And my person of the month is President Trump. I think he's done a fantastic job the last few months. The last almost year now that he's been in office, he's done a tremendous job. And a lot of people don't like that. And a lot of people might disagree with me, but I don't need an excuse as to why he's my person of the month for this month. He is. And let's just leave it at that. Now, the first news story I want to get into is the story about the fraud going on in Minnesota. We know this fraud's been going on for a while. It's not just Minnesota, it's other states doing it. And we always know that fraud's going to go on no matter what. Especially when you have buffoons like Tim Walz in charge. Uh, that's where the majority of the fraud's going to take place, is in states like Minnesota where buffoons like Tim Walz is in charge, and you're going to deal with fraud. And to be honest with you, we shouldn't be allowing it. We should send those that are guilty, if they're not American citizens, back to where they came from. Fraud is, I mean, they're taking taxpayer money from us. It's not just the daycare fraud; it's the fraud uh, for people who allegedly have disabilities. Uh, and this is some of the fraud. It's not even funny. A lot of the other fraud that's been going on is a lot of the stuff the Doge has uncovered. A lot of that fraud is overwhelmingly full. I have a friend that works within the administration as he was part of Doge. I don't know if he still is or not. He was one of the lawyers working for Doge. So he could tell you a whole lot more. And maybe I'll get him to come out here to Arizona so I can interview him about it. Uh, Now let's get to the incident that took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I didn't want to do a video about this until I got everything, all the facts. This has to do with the lesbo that got shot and killed by ICE agents. And after seeing the all the different viewpoints of the incident, what really made me just come down to what I believe now, it was what I saw yesterday, which was the body cam footage from the police officer. or the ICE agent. She was an agitator. She was with the group called ICE Trackers, where they track and harass ICE agents. She wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. She wasn't. She didn't. She wasn't coming from dropping her kid off at school or anything like that. They were out there basically interfering in a federal investigation. And it turns out that she's not a saint. She lost custody of her first two kids because she was putting cigarettes out on them and beating them. That just came out about her. And so I'm not going to be feeling too sorry for her. I know that sounds awful. We shouldn't be celebrating the death of anybody. But she should not have been interfering in a federal investigation to begin with. In the video, you can clearly hear her partner tell her, "Drive, babe, drive." She did hit the ICE agent. I know the sound of somebody getting hit by a car. If anybody, to be honest with you, if anybody knows about getting hit by a car, it's me. I've been hit by cars at least 7 times. One time, broke my foot. Walked around for a year with it being broken, not knowing that it was broke because the car just barely clipped my foot. Another time, broke my tailbone because a lady hit me from behind while I was pushing carts at work. I've had a bunch of people run back into me while I was doing carts at work. So, if anyone knows about getting hit by a vehicle and the sound that it makes, it's me. Now, this is exactly what people on the left wanted to happen. I'm not saying they planned on her being killed, but that's what they've been doing. These so-called protesters or agitators, most of them are paid, and they go out, agitate law enforcement, hoping that something like this would happen so they can make, so they can push a false narrative that ICE are the bad guys when they're actually the ones that are being the bad guys. Now, the particular illegal immigrants that they were going after, those ICE agents were going after, and she was interfering with them doing so, were pedophiles. That was just recently came out. So she played a stupid game. She earned a Darwin Award, and it cost her life. And now she's in hell. And that's sad to say, but it's true. And I do think that nobody deserves to die. Nobody deserves to die that way. But at the same time, she should not have been trying to run over a federal agent, and she shouldn't have been doing the stuff that she was doing. And it's not the ICE agent's fault, and it's not anyone else's fault that what happened to her, but her own. She's to blame. Now, just as guilty as her are the politicians like Tim Walz and the mayor of Minneapolis, Can't remember his name right now. Because they do tell people, hey, impede ICE, get in their way, block them, keep them from doing their job. And when you tell them stuff like that, they're going to do it. It's the mainstream media and the far left's fault that what happened to this woman happened because they started to when you start calling people Nazis and uh, fascists and what have you, you're basically dehumanizing those people, and you're making those people easy targets for the lunatics who listen to you. So I don't feel sorry for her. I do feel sorry for her family. I don't feel sorry for her because she made the wrong decision. She, like I said, played stupid games and got a Darwin Award for it. And I'm not going to apologize for my take on this. But at the same time, don't be doing things like that unless you're willing to pay the price. And let's not let them push this crap on us either, okay? Because if they keep pushing it, then we're going to end up having more and more issues like this. I fear this is only the beginning. I think they need to start arresting these people for being agitators, locking them up, and put them away forever. A lot of these people wouldn't be existing right now if we continued or kept the insane asylums open. But Jimmy Carter started closing them in the 70s, and Reagan didn't do anything to stop it. That's the one thing Reagan should have stopped was the closing of these insane asylums. Now let's talk about the next thing I want to talk about is uh, if you've followed me for a long time, I appreciate it. If you haven't, that's okay. I do like to have somebody on here to debate with me, but I can't find anybody smart enough to make a good argument for the left or the right. And like I said, I'm not on the left, I'm not on the right, I'm an independent. And that's why I can say the things I say because I am an independent. Now, the third story I wanted to talk about was a few months ago, a lady walks into a Planet Fitness, into the women's room in at a Planet Fitness in California. Um, and she caught a guy doing something he shouldn't be doing in public or in the ladies' room. It was a trans woman, or should I say a dude pretending to be a woman. And let's just say he was spanking the monkey or choking the chicken. And you could clearly see it in the shadow of the video. And she posted an update. She said she should have gone to the cops. Now I do want to applaud her boyfriend because her boyfriend comes in to the bathroom to see what's going on with her. And he took up for his girlfriend. The people working at that Planet Fitness said, well, we'll wait for our manager to before we can make a call on this. I have not heard if they suspended the man who claims to be a woman's membership, but I do know they suspended hers, which is wrong. And men pretending to be women using the women's restrooms, that's just wrong. That's just plain out wrong. So I do want to, I do want to state that. I believe it's wrong. And if I'm ever anywhere with either one of my sisters, my sister-in-law, or any of my nieces, and I'm waiting for them to come out of the women's bathroom and I see a dude pretending to be a woman wanting to go in the bathroom with them, I definitely would not allow that to happen. Neither one of my brother-in-laws would allow that to happen. So just wanted to get that off my chest. Now, that's all I got to say about that. Men should be in the men's room. Women should be in the women's room. If you're born with a penis between your legs, go to the men's room. If you're born with the vajayjay, go to the women's room. There's no in between. And finally, in closing, as always, I'm the Gooch. I'm the man of the hour, the man of the power. Too sweet to be sour. Every lady's pet, every man's regret. The sex appeal of Elvis, leadership qualities of Ronald Reagan, Hall of Fame potential of George Brett, the style and profiling of the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair, the hardcore hard Mick Foley, always right like Rush Limbaugh, and the toughness of Chuck Norris, all rolled into one. THEGOOCH. And see you next time for the next episode of The Gooch and the News.